Hey everybody, Ben Dorr here, Executive Director with Minnesota Gun Rights. And we're at the State Capitol building. There's still some loony birds wearing masks up here. It's what you expect. It's St. Paul, it's Minneapolis, it's just what you expect from the cities. Guys, we're at the Capitol today. We've had some meetings with some legislators. We've talked with some great staff today, some great people doing great work on behalf of the Second Amendment. And of course, we've seen some losers too. There's a lot of losers walking around this building. There always is. It's another year, same garbage with these people. But today we're talking about gun control. Gun control. Here in my hot little hands, I have the list. Senate File 3377 and Senate File 3378. Okay, it's a pair of gun control bills that have been introduced up here. They've been introduced in the Senate and in the House. Okay, so it's a pair, it's a four-pack, if you will, of gun control that's been introduced. I'm asking you guys right now, let me know where you're watching from. Let me know. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me okay, if the audio's okay. We're trying out a new system here. I think it's pretty good. I think it works pretty well. But let me know if you can hear me okay. Give me a thumbs up. I see some love, some hearts. Thank you guys very much. Okay, so here's the deal. We're about halfway through this legislative session. Politicians up here, they're all about their re-elections, right? It's election season now. So all these politicians, and there's the House chamber right there. All of these politicians are up here making sure they're giving their speeches on the floor. They're making sure that they're giving their empty platitudes about how much they support the Second Amendment. You know, you can picture people like Kurt Doubt. You picture people like Paul Gazelka, others like that who have not done anything for gun owners. No stand your ground, no constitutional carry, no Second Amendment Preservation Act, no votes on any of these things. First of all, I love you guys. I see Lawrence in there. I see Jacob. I see so many of you people. Josh, Joe, Paul, you guys are all checking in right now. Thank you very much. Share this video if you would, please. Just press share. Drop it right on your Facebook page. The more people see this, the more Facebook will favor the video. So this is good. We have Damien checking in from Minneapolis. Sound is good. Thank you very much for giving me that feedback. I appreciate it very much. Here's the deal. So here we have it. I'm going to read this short. Well, it's not too short. Here's the list. I'm just going to read it real quick for you, okay? Here is what these gun control bills would do if they get passed. If they pass even a tiny bit of the gun control, this would be bad. If one of these things gets passed, it would be bad, okay? So if you do nothing else, I'd ask you please to go to the description of this video. On the top of this video, there's a petition, a pre-written email there. Sign it, send it. Make sure your state representative and your state senator know that you want them to oppose this garbage legislation. So here we have it, Senate File 3377 and 3378. I'm going to speed read this, but if you'd like, go back and listen to this. If these bills get passed, these were introduced by Senator John Marty from Senate District 66. He's a total communist trash bag from Ramsey County. Of course, he's probably being primaried or something, and he's trying to make his the extremists look less extreme than he is. But if these bills pass, it would ban all magazines that hold over 10 rounds of ammunition. It would outlaw all 50 caliber or bigger firearms and their ammunition. So goodbye to all the 50 cals. They would be outlawed under these bills. It would force registration of all firearms in Minnesota. So your 22s, your shotguns, your pistols, all of them, they would all have to be registered with your local sheriff's department and then, of course, with the state. This bill would ban all home-built firearms. So all the 80% lowers, all of those things would be outlawed under this piece of legislation. This bill would require, get this, it would require physical tests, physicals, in order to get a permit to carry or own a firearm, okay? Physical health tests. It would ban all firearms without serial numbers. So again, there go all of your home-built firearms, which is how it was supposed to be, okay? You're supposed to have the right to own firearms without the government knowing about them. Okay, these are not cars, okay, they're not vehicles. These are Second Amendment constitutionally guaranteed rights. But they want to ban all of those. So you have your physical test for firearms, mental health tests to own a firearm or carry one. So you would have to go through a mental health test. They will rule you as being mentally deficient. It'll happen. You're a conservative, likely. You're a Second Amendment supporter. Maybe you love the Founding Fathers. Maybe you have an American flag in your front yard. They will say you're crazy. They will say you're an insurrectionist. And they will rule you mentally deficient. So mental health tests to get a firearm. It would limit your firearms purchases to one gun every 30 days. Every 30 days. And I want to mention one thing really quickly. Please do not hammer on the angry face on Facebook. Okay? I know you're pissed off. I'm pissed off about these bills. But when you hammer the angry, pissed off face on Facebook, you know what it does? Facebook immediately starts shadow banning that stuff. They restrict content that gets angry reactions on Facebook. So no matter how pissed you are, give me a love. Give some love in here. That's what we need more than anything. Give us some loves. So maybe you knew that, maybe you didn't know that, but yeah, never give an angry face unless you're trying to really screw over the page. So one gun every 30 days. Them's the rules under this bill. And okay, we're gonna keep going. There's so much to say. The next thing it would do is require liability insurance to carry a firearm. Liability insurance. So what, $1 million policy? $2 million policy? It doesn't say in the bill. It leaves that stuff up to the stupid commissioner. It would require training on how to retreat when violently attacked. So you would have to be taught how to retreat. I guess in a tactical sense, that might be kind of some good training, but they're not going to pay for it. You are. So all sorts of extra training, extra certification required under Senator John Marty's bullshit here. The next thing we'd do is make it a crime to carry a gun past no guns allowed signs. So it would be a crime. Right now, I know a lot of people, you go into a restaurant, they have a no guns allowed sign on the door. Well, you know what? You're concealed carrying anyway. It's on your hip. So you're just going to go in, you're going to sit down, you're going to have your meal, you're going to be protected, you're going to get up and you're going to leave. If they catch you, all they can do is ask you to leave. And if you don't leave, then you can get like a trespassing type of charge, right? That's how it works currently. This would straight up make it a crime to carry a firearm into any place that has a no guns allowed sign on the door. Next thing, this is two bills, a pair of bills. That's all this would do. So the next thing it would do is ban open carry of any firearm. Open carry is now a crime. So, states like Texas, before Texas legalized open carry, I believe it's legal now, people would unzip their coats and their pistol would show, it'd be on their hip. And people would call them in and say, you're that legally qualified as brandishing a firearm. If someone can see the gun, it's brandishing. And it's straight up in this bill. Okay, so all firearms, open carry would be banned. In particular, they put in there, ban the carrying of AR-15 style firearms anywhere in public. Okay? So that's Senate File 3377 and 3378. We're not quite done. This is the insanity of these people up here. This is the crap they're pushing. The next thing it would do, and we're getting near the end, is it would force you to lock up all your firearms in a government-approved storage device. So we don't know what that storage device is, but it would have to be government approved, and all of your firearms would have to be in there unless they're in use, like going to a shooting range or something. That's what it would do. It would create a database of every firearm and firearm owner in Minnesota. Databases are used to confiscate guns down the road. That's how this stuff works. This bill would eliminate permit reciprocity with all other states. So there it goes. There goes your reciprocity. There goes your, if you have family that lives outside of Minnesota and they can't carry here anymore, you probably can't carry there because you ordinarily need to have. That's the way this is. That's the way this stuff would work out. There's probably some more digging we can do on that, but it would eliminate permit reciprocity with all other states. I don't know if there's any states in the country that have it quite like that. This bill would force a criminal background check on all firearms transfers. They call it universal background checks. This would require then, if you want to give a firearm to your spouse for Christmas, for their birthday, or just for self-defense, This would make it a crime to do so without taking your family member down to your sheriff's department and running a background check on them. Okay, it would make grandpas felons for giving an old Army rifle. My grandpa gave me a 410 shotgun when I was a kid. Actually, it was his. It was like ancient. It's a beautiful little gun, and he gave it to me when I was a child. If that happened under this law, Grandpa becomes a felon. Hold on, is there a trash bag over here? You got to keep your head on a swivel, guys. These politicians up here, their staffers, they're all up there flipping us off all the time, taking pictures. These people are crazy. So you got to keep your head on a swivel around here. Next thing it would do, the last thing it would do is ban firearm carry in any state and local public buildings. Okay, so I read this to my wife, and she says, well, she's got one of those concealed carry purses, right, with a little zipper on the back, and she says, I carry that with me everywhere I go, and I go into the library with our kids. We have 4 little boys. She takes them to the library. My wife becomes a felon, gets criminally charged for carrying a firearm in the library. If you go in any state or federal buildings, you become a felon, you get charged. If any one of these things, I know there was a lot there, I'll be sure when this video is done, I'll put up a graphic on the page, on the Minnesota Gun Rights Facebook page, so that you can see everything that I just saw. So if you want to share the bullet points with your family and your friends so they know what's in this bill, I will put it on the page for you to share when we're done here. For right now, though, I'm asking you to go to the link on top of this video, sign your petition opposing this legislation. We will be delivering them to the Capitol for you, to your senators, your state representatives, and we're going to tell them to oppose this legislation. What they should be doing is passing constitutional carry. What they should be doing is passing stand your ground law. The governor of Indiana just signed, Holcomb, just signed constitutional carry into law in Indiana. We with the American Firearms Association, Ohio gun owners, just rammed constitutional carry into law in the state of Ohio. It was just signed by Governor Mike DeWine. Just down in Alabama, Governor Kay Ivey just signed constitutional carry into law, and we're about to ram it through in Georgia, and Governor Kemp is sure to sign the legislation because he needs the votes in his primary. But here in Minnesota, we get nothing. We get nothing from these politicians but gun control. We have a Republican-controlled Senate, and what do? Nothing. Nothing. They're not even speaking up in opposition to these bills that I just read, Senate File 3377 and Senate File 3378. They're not even speaking up in opposition to those things. The Republicans have held control of the Minnesota Senate for the 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, and now to 2022 legislative session. And in all of those years, they have never put a single pro-gun bill on the Senate floor for a vote. Not one time. And now it's election season. Democrats look bad because many of them suck, and they're pushing gun control up here. But the Republicans are all running around going, oh, vote for me, donate to my re-election campaign, come walk in this parade for me. They all want the support of gun owners, but they haven't lifted a finger for gun owners in this state. We need new leadership. We need new legislative leadership in the House, in the Senate. If Republicans take back control of the Minnesota House, if they put Kurt Doubt in again as Speaker, that will spell doom for our Second Amendment freedoms, because as a Republican, he's not a Republican, he is a Democrat with an R by his name. It's a bad deal, okay? And they should be fighting this gun control. They should be speaking up in opposition to it. They should be putting pro-gun bills on the floor for a vote. How you guys doing? No, don't wait for me. You come right on past. You're fine. You're fine. Especially if you like guns. Then you're really okay. They should be fighting for gun owners, but they're not. So that's what we are doing here today. We are fighting on behalf of our Second Amendment freedoms, fighting to stop this gun control. We love you guys. I'll tell you what, I'll be very honest with you. Frankly, I hate being up here. I don't like this Capitol building. I don't like the people inside. When I leave here, I literally go home or I go back to and I take a shower because this place is full of politicians. It's full of slimy, weird, greasy lobbyists like Lazy Rob who just slink around in the corners up here. This place gives me the heebie-jeebies. I don't like it, but we're here because fighting for gun owners, fighting for you is what you sent us here to do. It's what you sent us here to do. So we're going to fight tooth and nail. We're going to shut these gun control bills down. We're going to push to pass pro-gun legislation. I mean, there's these goobers walking by with their masks on right now in this building. Like, there's almost nobody on this floor right now, and they're all just, it's outrageous. These people hate you. They hate normal people. They think Leah Thomas just won this women's swimming championship. Give me a break. We are normal people. We are patriots. We are lovers of freedom and our Second Amendment, our state, our country, the rights of the individual. And we are going to fight for those things, tooth and nail. And we're going to go after these people at election time. We're going to go into their districts. We're going to expose their bad records. And if you are a politician, because many politicians are going to watch this, if you are a Republican legislator and you didn't lift a finger for gun owners, if all you did was sit there and thought that that is enough to get you through, you're in for a surprise. You're in for a surprise. The days of sitting there being tired, boring, do-nothing politicians have to end. You need to fight for gun owners. You need to fight for freedom. If you're not willing to do that, let someone else take your place. At least have the honesty, the internal fortitude, you politicians, to recognize when you're not cut out for fighting on behalf of gun owners. As Paul says, that's our Capitol house, not only theirs. They work for us, not the other way around. Well, that's what we're here to remind these people of, guys. There's so much more we can talk about. I'm sorry if it's a little bit echoey in here right now, but we're trying to stop these two major pieces of gun control. I'll tell you, they would have a hard time getting those passed right now. They're extreme. They're pretty wild, right? They're insane. It's total communism, but it is election season. These people are trying to win points, all right? They want to win points, and that's why we need to fight these so hard. If they have a 1% chance of passage or a 99% chance of passage, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We fight them just the same. Because if the day comes when we go, well, there's been some gun control introduced, but there's no chance it's going to pass. Like the Minnesota gun owners cuck us. They used to do this all the time. Maybe they still do. Whenever there'd be a piece of gun control, we'd start fighting against it. And they'd sit there and they'd go, oh, well, that ain't going to pass. There is no reason to do any of that stuff. The day we decide not to fight against gun control is the day when the Democrats and the rhinos go back there into their caucus rooms and they have a little conversation and they say, look, gun owners are asleep. As a voting bloc, as a collective, they're not engaged. They're not engaged in this process. They're not fighting against us. We introduced this crazy bill in 2022 and we didn't hear a peep from anyone. Maybe 2023 or 2024 or 2025, maybe this is the year that we finally get to pass a normal piece of gun control legislation like red flag laws or universal background checks or something like that. That is what happens. That is what happens. That's why we're never complacent. We never sit around and do nothing. I know Lazy Rob, he's snoozing up here somewhere. I know he is. He's always asleep in a corner somewhere until some politician calls him and wants him to come, I don't know, fluff their pillow or something. But not us. We fight all of this stuff tooth and nail. So do me a favor, guys. Sign your petition. Send your pre-written email. Become a member of Minnesota Gun Rights today. I have a few more meetings up here before I take off. I got to talk with a couple of people before we head back to the MGR HQ in Northfield. But for today, guys, please do me that favor. Sign that. We'll deliver them to your Capitol, to your representative at the Capitol on your behalf. God bless you. I love you all. Thank you for joining us today. We're going to be back here raising some holy hell in this building. It's what we do best. These politicians are not going to get off scot-free. And they're sure as heck not going to get off scot-free when it comes to the elections coming up. I know there's also some really good candidates running against some incumbents, some candidates who believe strongly in freedom. And so maybe we can see some great people replace some rhinos. If we can get more people up here like Representative Eric Mortensen, who's a real fighter for the Second Amendment, if we can get more people up here like that, then we can start building a coalition of staunch, freedom-loving Second Amendment supporter types who are willing to throw down with the establishment on your behalf and really advance this cause. I'm always looking for a politician. There's politicians and these lobbyists who walk around here. But for now, guys, that's what I have. I'll keep you updated, I promise. I'll give you more updates on this legislation, if there's sponsors, co-sponsors, if there's going to be some committee action, floor action, anything that's going to happen. I'll make sure you guys have all of this information. We'll be sure to put it out to our email list as well, so you guys can fight back with us. The last thing I'll say before I sign off here, and I've said this every legislative session for the last 6 or 7 years. It's never just me at the Capitol building fighting for you that wins anything at all. I'm one person. Yes, these people, they do hate me up here. They hate us so badly. They hate us so badly up here. However, it has always been our members and our supporters who are the backbone of this organization, who are the real firepower behind this organization. You guys, in the end, are what the politicians fear the most. What's that phrase? I just heard this again on the news just the other day. That phrase about I fear an army of sheep led by a lion more than I fear an army of lions led by sheep. Right? Led by sheep is kind of like a metaphor for Joe Biden these days. But here at Minnesota Gun Rights, we are an army of lions led by lions. We're fighters, real fighters who win. We've won a lot. We have stopped gun control in at times when nobody thought it was possible. And that is why the members of Minnesota Gun Rights are the most hated and most feared activists on behalf of freedom in this entire state. So I want you to keep that in mind. Sign your petition, guys. I'm going to hop off for right now. I'll be back with more updates for you very soon. God bless you all, and we'll talk in just a day or two. All right, take care.